Hey folks, this is Proven Paradox, the DM for this little game. Hopefully one day we'll have a session where we don't have to start with a little disclaimer at the front, but that day is not today. We have finally started calling ourselves Ragtag Bag of Bastards, unlike the previous sessions where we had Adventures in Leyline. However, I need to acknowledge something here. At around an hour 50 in this recording, we began talking about gender identity issues. And I slip up in my terminology a little bit. I wouldn't call what I mess up offensive, but I would say that it's out of date in a way that some might consider disrespectful. And I apologize for that. That was not my intention. I am cis white male, so I am not directly affected by these kinds of things. So the best I can do is try to be a respectful ally. I'm doing the best I can there, but in this episode I slip up a little bit, and I hope you can forgive me for that. And if you are the sort who is angry at me for giving this little warning, I would just ask, why are you so insecure about a simple conversation about identity? If it's not going to affect you, then why are you angry? That's all I really have to say about that. So I hope you stick with me as I occasionally mess up my terminology and hopefully get better at it as I go, because this is meant to be a very inclusive setting. I've done my best to write certain aspects of the setting, not assuming cisgender stuff, and I'm doing the best I can, but I'm still learning this, so I messed up a little. So I hope you can forgive me, and there we go. Also, I goofed, and my audio is significantly louder than the others. I apologize for that, but there's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hopefully next week we can do a little better on it. So, there we go. Thank you for listening to our little show. Alright, welcome everyone. So this is episode 4, and we've decided for sure this time that the name of this show is going to be Ragtag Bag of Bastards. I'm Proven Paradox, I'm the DM, and I'm here with some friends, and we're going to play Dungeons & Dragons. And you're going to listen to it. Pretty simple, actually. Let's start with Squirrel Bro. What's up?
Hello, I'm Scott, aka Squirrel Bro, and I play Flynn the Half-Elf Rogue, and yeah, I'm a dumbass.
Indeed, the best kind. Weatherwax, what's up?
Hi, I'm Renee. I play our tiefling bard Oona, who hopefully will not almost die in this session.
I make no promises. KQ, how you doing?
So much more.
Hi, I'm KQ. I play Alezi the Barbarian, and hopefully she gets to kick some ass today. I'm excited.
Probably. And finally, we have a new player who will definitely be joining us for at least part of this session today. We'll see how that goes. Red, what's up?
Hi, I'm Red, and I'm going to be playing Rhodes the Asimar? Is that how you pronounce it?
I call it ASMR, but it could be Asimar.
It sounds very similar to ASMR, which
I was just about to say ASMR.
Yeah. Anyway, I play the Asimar Rhodes the Paladin.
Excellent. We'll be introducing Rhodes soon, hopefully. And I do not approve of ASMR, so don't go getting any ideas.
We already had that
everyone.
discussion.
Welcome to our D&D session.
No, stop it. I will. Rocks will fall. I have the rocks. They're ready to fall.
Just doing some Foley work for you.
Okay, so let's get into it. Over the last couple of sessions, the group took a job from Tok the Goblin to retrieve some smuggled cargo that got lost in the Northern Ridge, a dangerous section of the city of Leyline, which is where you guys are all living. And so you went into the Northern Ridge, encountered the dangerous creatures there, and took the cargo out, and noticed that it had an address on it. So you took the cargo to the address and met Murdoch Metalmender, a Earth Ganassi who is a lot more Earth than Ganassi these days, who is an inventor and who paid you for his cargo instead. Last session, you confronted Tok after basically going behind his back on this, and Flynn decided to take all of the blame on himself. Tok Tok got super melodramatically angry and declared that he would be Flynn's enemy from now on. Flynn then ran off to speak to Murdoch about this, and Murdoch told him that he really shouldn't worry as much about Tok Tok, that the goblin was a melodramatic fool, basically. He also got punched straight into his stupid fucking face, and then walked back. Meanwhile, Alezi and Oona were bonding a bit, sharing stories about their past. Flynn came back, went up to his room. Alezi and Oona were talking a bit in Ben's tavern, the Rainy Day Tavern, and I believe that's where we left off. Is that correct?
Yes,
I believe so.
I have two things of note for Flynn.
Go for it.
One, I'm not going to waste a potion on that punch, but I am going to use one of my hit dice because I'm going to be in my room for a while.
Yeah, short rest is fine. Go for it.
And I'm back to full.
Good.
I don't like the way you said that.
And then the other thing is, unless Alezi or Oona specifically come to see if I'm okay, like they were talking about, Flynn is going to stay in his room until it's time to go to the arena because he wants to do that, but he also wants to be alone right now.
Are either Oona, what are Oona and Alezi up to? Still just hanging out in the tavern?
Yeah, Alezi's going to stay in the tavern until it's around time to go, and then she's gonna go up and get Flynn.
All right.
I can't remember what we did last week. I can't remember what I was thinking at the end.
I mean, it was not last week. It was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oona,
Parting the curtain a little bit, we had to skip a week.
Oona was trying to get information about Alezi's background and what she did in the past and her childhood, and Alezi was being very awkward about it.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Then Oona will just stay in the tavern, just because I honestly can't remember what I planned last week. I didn't write it down. Or the week before, whatever.
Alright. So, if nobody's going to do anything, let's just skip forward to time to go. So, Alezi, you're going to go check on Flynn?
Yep. I'll go upstairs and knock on whichever door is his. I assume I know which room is his.
Right. You guys have been together long enough that you would know. Okay, so Flynn, you hear a knocking on the door.
Just a minute, and you kind of hear shuffling, and then I open the door.
All right, so Leslie's just standing there. She looks at the bruising around her eye first, and then kind of stands on her on the balls of her feet because you're taller than her. And she's just, how's your eye feeling?
I'm all right. More of a pride thing, really.
Sure. She puts her hand on your chest and starts to push you into the room.
Whoa, moving fast, are we?
She does not respond. She just keeps pushing you back, and if you're not going to resist her, up against a wall.
Okay.
She leans in close to inspect the bruising, and then pulls back and takes a swing at your other eye.
This one I do try to dodge.
Alright.
Make your attack roll.
Doesn't she technically have him grappled? Because she's got her hand on him?
Are you keeping your hand on him against the wall?
Yes.
Alright. Then this is a bit of a sucker punch, so I'm going to say you have advantage on this.
Alright, so it's just a raw strength.
You would have your proficiency in your fist. You're proficient in your fists.
Yeah.
No, that'll hit. You can roll again if you want to go for the crit.
She's not really trying to crit him.
Yeah.
But just in case.
Alright. Well, yeah, so solid hit, roll your damage.
Oh.
Good thing you used that hit die.
The damage is going to be 1d2 plus your strength mod.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
I mean, it was 5 or 6. So.
5 or 6.
Alright, 5 bludgeoning damage to you, Flynn, as Alezi reels back and punches you straight in the other eye.
I don't say anything.
Not even ow?
I mean, We can make fun of him all we like, but on his sheet, Flynn is a fairly tough dude, so I can totally buy that.
Alright, so she gets her punch in, and she just goes, alright, that was for not letting me watch you get punched. And then she just, like, slings her arm around his shoulders and is like, come on, buddy, we're gonna go fight.
I would like to say truce and hold out my hand.
Are you about to do what I think you're about to do?
Hell fucking yes.
Okay, deception check, please. Followed by an insight from Alezi.
An insight would be...
Deception. Yes. I knew it was a big number.
Alezi, he seems pretty legit.
Okay, she just goes, yeah, whatever, come on, let's go.
No.
Are you gonna shake my hand?
Fine. She reaches out to take his hand.
And I will cast Shocking Grasp.
Of course you will. I'm going to say that Alezi's going to auto-fail this save.
Okay.
Roll your damage. I mean, that's the attack roll. And I'm going to say you auto succeed because you got her to shake your hand.
Where was that? 4.
All right, Alezi, you take 4 electric damage as you grasp his hand and suddenly get shocked.
Okay, so after a frazzled moment, she her face that was for once a little cheery and jolly turns back into her usual scowl as she glares over at him. Just, you little bitch.
Come on, let's go have some fun at that arena. And I walk past her.
Una's
Right.
waiting downstairs, just like at the door, kind of tapping her fingers on the bar. It's like, man, they're taking a long time.
Ben looks at Oona and goes, dude might need a bit of time to recover. Looked like he took a big hit.
I admit I've never been punched in the face before, but how long does it take to recover being punched in the face?
Depends on the person. Both the person getting punched and the person doing the punching.
That sounds reasonable.
At which point I walk down the stairs looking more cheerful than I should have any right to be given the circumstances.
I mean, given that you have 2 black eyes now, at least you match.
Oh, hey, Flynn, did you put on makeup to try and like I don't know, look like a thief or something, man?
No, Alezi just punched me again.
And I missed it? Ah!
Alezi comes down the stairs just a bit behind, and her hair is a bit more frazzled than usual.
Ben is behind the bar, just grins and shakes his head.
Alezi, I thought you were gonna wait until I could get to see him punched.
Oh, I can punch him again real quick, like.
I mean, Ben, can she punch him? Can she punch him? Is that okay?
Has he earned it?
Yes.
Go ahead. I don't care.
Okay, Alezi is going for
Wow.
another swing.
I'm not grappled this time.
No,
Yeah,
this is a
you're
normal
not.
attack.
You're not grappled, so let's see how this works. So he's aiming for the nose this time.
That misses.
Yeah.
Alright, so Flynn, you see this one coming and duck under it.
Nice try.
I'm not going to see Flynn get punched, am I?
Don't worry, I'll get him later.
All right. Well, then let's go to this arena thing. I would like to see other people get punched at least, and then we'll all head out.
Alright, so you guys head out. It's about a 10-minute walk to get to the arena. You're in Shadeside, so it's a fairly compact area where you have a lot of buildings kind of built on top of each other. So it's very densely packed, and you can find a whole lot of things in the same area. In this case, you're heading to a sort of clearing in the middle of the street that's been blocked off, and you see that there's been there's the start of a gathering, and it's a little hard to tell who are the competitors and who are there just to watch people compete. So You guys join the crowd, mill around for a little bit. You were still a little bit early, even with all of the drama. And eventually, you see 3 figures step forward and take charge of the situation. At the center of the clearing, standing on a little podium so she can get a little compensation for her height, is a dwarven woman. She has a curvy figure, round facial features, blue eyes, and long brown hair pulled into a high ponytail. On her face, you can see that she's grown sideburns, and they're about 6 inches long and kind of frame her face. She's wearing shiny, well-polished, well-tended to breastplate and a pair of blue jeans. And you can also see that she's got one boot, and the other foot, her left foot, appears to be a monotech prosthetic. So it's a big... It's sort of like a set of foot armor, but you can see clockwork and occasional sparks of arcane energy working from within it. So she yells out, "All right, all of you, time to get started. My name is Melida Warmhearth, daughter of Melina, daughter of Velina, and I am the hostess of Blood in the Sand. To my right and left are going to be the medics for this night, so that we are sure no one is permanently hurt. Introduce yourselves." The first one who introduces herself is a human woman with a slim, wiry figure. God, what is wrong with me? Figure. Slim, wiry figure. She has long, bright blue hair hanging freely down to her hips. She has angular facial features. She might have elven ancestry at some point, but she's certainly not a half-elf. She's wearing a low-cut sleeveless blouse and a short blue skirt, which reveals that her pale skin is absolutely covered in tattoos. These tattoos are indistinct, faceless humanoid figures in various dancing poses. She waves and goes, "Hello, everyone. My name is Shauna, and I am a servant of the Muse. He is the patron of all athletes, and therefore I will be here to serve as his conduit for these proceedings. I do hope you all put on a good performance." The second healer is our new character. So, Rhodes, introduce yourself, describe yourself, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, Rhodes is young-ish. You wouldn't be able to tell it, though, because he is very tall, around 6'7", 6'8". He should be playing basketball if he was in our world, but not his style. He is tan skin, tan bronze, gold eyes, and white hair. Shockingly white and shockingly gold, because he is an Azamar?
Whichever you prefer. I'm going to say ASMR.
ASMR, yeah. He is donned in his armor, which features an undercloth of dark red. And he stands with his sword and shield on his back, in no place to be used, and he says...
Quick note, I hate swords on the back, so his sword is at his hilt, and I demand this.
That's fine. I don't have an opinion either way.
I do. Swords don't go on backs.
I mean, they go in backs, but...
That's a different thing.
Alright. And...
The back sheath is stupid.
Okay.
I have opinions! Shut up!
No, it's absolutely fine.
I'm being sarcastic.
Ask him about ladies only armor later.
Oh, God.
Cool. Anyway, he sort of does a slight tilt of his hand towards the crowd and says, "Hello, I am Rhodes I Do, a servant of the Lover, and I will be your other healer for this evening. The Lover seeks to embrace the bonds between all people, whether that be in family, love, romantic, or sexual. I will not be performing those sort of services, however, so please don't ask.
There's a couple of people who go, oh, at that.
Including Flynn.
So Alezi's close enough. She fully would recognize him, right?
Probably. I mean, it's not. He's over 6 feet tall and has gold hair or gold eyes and white hair. So
Yeah.
that's not a common configuration.
Yeah. So Alezi just kind of squints and kind of leans forward, looking at him. Kind of puts her hand on Una's shoulder. Says, "I know that asshole. I'd know that anywhere."
Una just kind of looks at Alezi. You know a lot of assholes. Which asshole are we talking about?
This is an asshole I used to fight back in Northwall. Well, not really fight. We used to practice together.
What, the tall one?
Yeah.
The dwarven woman Melida goes, right, so let's get started. We're going to come around and interview each of you to find out what sorts of fights you're all interested in. And then we're going to have a few matches to see who will make the cut. So everyone form a queue right here. There we go. And she and the two healers start herding everyone into a line.
I have to get interviewed. I just want to hit things.
There's a guy behind you going, yeah, seriously. I mean, how complicated is punch and shit? It's a big bald dude with a big bushy beard. He is the stereotypical bear. Brown skin, broad nose, wide jaw. He's like, man, I was really hoping we could just get straight to the punching, but the way I hear it, there are people who like to fight with weapons too, and since we got healers here, they gotta make sure everybody's here to do the same thing, you know?
Yeah, I guess it's all well and fair. Still, I was hoping to get to the punching right away.
Melida is like, observers, you're free to take a look. This is gonna be a set of free shows for all you lucky folks. And I'll be taking wagers later if you so please. But for now, I need you all over there. And she starts taking control of the situation again, telling non-combatants to head to a different part of the square. Where are Oona and Flynn going?
Una turns to Flynn. So are you fighting or betting today, Flynn?
Well, I was originally just thinking about betting, but there's weapon fighting, and I could do with letting off a little steam.
Are you sure you're up for that?
Alezi kind of pats him on the back pretty hard. Like, sure, he's up for it. Come on, join me in the revelry.
The bear guy who was talking to Alezi before is like, yeah, why not? I mean, worst that's gonna happen is you're gonna get stabbed near to death.
Flynn,
I look him straight in the eye and say, wouldn't be the first time.
He looks you over and is like, yeah, you look like the kind of guy who gets stabbed a bit. Go for it. Why not? Yeah? And I mean, you can still bet while you're not fighting.
Okay, I'll join in the weapon fighting.
Flynn, what's your health at?
19 of 24.
A 19 of 24. Can I cast Cure Wounds on him real quick then?
Sure.
Okay. Una's gonna cast Cure Wounds on you because she doesn't want you to go into a fight already punched. Okay, so it's 1d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier, right?
That is correct. Your charisma.
I haven't done this in like forever. I can't remember how to do this guy. Okay, so it's my charisma modifier, so 3, right?
Yep.
6.
Alright,
Awesome.
that should heal you back up to full.
Yep.
Alright, Alezi sees this and she's just, hey, why don't I get any special treatment?
It's Alezi, you're fine. Hey, if he's
Fine.
getting punched in the face, I want it to be a clear canvas to be punched in the face, okay?
Fine, Fancy Lad shocked me back in his room.
Yeah.
I had electric.
Yeah.
I had electric surging through me.
What? Why did you do that? Flynn, what the hell?
The bear dude is just laughing at this point.
That
Do you mean literal electricity or the nice kind?
But it's like, what kind of electricity is nice? That's not what Flynn. What the hell? Alezi, what's your
Dude looks to Oona and goes, I'll show you. And he winks.
Oona looks confused.
Alezi immediately stops laughing and just like puts herself between him and Oona. It's just she's not interested.
Eh? I think that's for her to say, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, sorry. By the way, name's Braum. Nice to meet you.
Was it Braum or Braun?
Braun. Bronn.
Okay. So like Game of Thrones.
Everything is going to be like Game of Thrones.
I'm just pointing out that is one of the main characters of Game of Thrones.
I've never seen Game of Thrones, and I didn't know they had basically the same set of deities, so I'm a little touchy about it.
You're fine. So Alezi, what's your health at?
I just need a little bit. She suffered 4 damage, so.
Yeah, okay.
No, not 4.
It was 6, I think.
Yeah,
6. Was it 4? Whatever. It's still enough that a Cure Wounds is going to take care of it.
Yeah,
it was 4. It was 4.
I'll do it anyway. There you go.
All right.
And you got exactly 4 back.
Cool.
Yay!
Okay, there you go. Now, remember, guys, no dying today. No dying today.
The woman, Shauna, notices Oona healing. Is like, actually, would you mind providing your healing services as well, miss?
I've only got like 2 healing slots left.
Well, that's 2 more than I have.
Is it paid?
We can pay you a few silver for it, yes.
Sure, why not then?
All right. Thank
while
you.
she's while the group has her attention, Alezi just kind of pipes up real quick, say, "Hey, can I go say hi to your lover boy over there? I know him from back in my hometown."
Oh, certainly. Once he's done with, we're taking part in the interviews as well. I was actually coming over to speak to you two.
All right.
So, what sorts of fights are you interested in, miss? And she looks to Alezi.
I just want to punch things. I'm not really interested in weapons.
Very well, we'll put you down for brawling. Excellent. And what about you, sir? And she looks to Flynn.
These trusty short swords with the side of magic.
Very well. And for you, miss, spells or no spells?
None. I'll deal with that.
Beautiful, beautiful. I will make sure that that's all taken care of, and I'll tell Rhodes to come over here for a moment. She walks and taps Rhodes on the shoulders, like, dearie, this one here says she wants to speak with you.
Is something the matter?
I don't think so. She didn't seem angry.
Well, alright then.
I'll take care of these folks here for you, and she takes care of the fighters you were interviewing.
And I guess Rhodes walks over then. Hello, is there anything I can help you with?
Alright, so Alezi turns to look at him and says, "Hey, I didn't expect to see your big ugly mug around here."
Alezi?
So you do remember me.
As charming as ever, I see. Hi, it's a surprise to see you here. I thought you were still in Northwall.
Yeah, well, some things happened, and I decided to relocate. I haven't seen you in quite a while.
It'd be about 2-3 years since I moved out, yes. Mother transferred over here to the Temple of the Mother here in the city, and I wanted to be closer to her.
Ah, I see. Well, looks like you've been doing okay for yourself.
Rhodes laughs a bit and looks down at himself. Fine enough. Paladin training finally came through, but it's been a strange experience. You know, people aren't exactly accustomed to seeing a paladin of the lover, and you get some strange comments. How are you? How's the family? I admit I don't remember your exact situation. And who are your friends?
Oh, well, it's just Mom. She's alright. These two are, Flynn and Oona. They're just staying, in a nearby tavern with me. Decided to tag along.
Oona gives a very energetic wave of hello and looks very, very interested in this conversation.
I will very obviously wink at Rhodes.
He kind of does a little bit of a double take and then looks away a little sheepishly, but he continues. Well, it's nice to meet you all. You're here for the fights, I believe I heard?
Yeah. I'm going into unarmed. Flynn here is gonna be dealing with weapons. And Oona, actually, is gonna be helping you out with the healing.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Well,
excited.
That's nice. We'll get a chance to chat then.
Yeah, take care of her, will you?
She looks like she can take care of herself.
True, but be on the safe side. She's just kind of, Alezi's just kind of looking around at the crowd at anyone that happens to be checking Oona out.
I mean, there are as many people checking Alezi out as there are checking Oona out.
Well, Alezi doesn't care about that.
All right. I mean, Una's definitely getting some looks, but you know, these are big dudes. You see, a lot of orcs have come out for this. A disproportionate number of orcs as far as the population of the city, and they're definitely more interested in Alezi than in Oona.
Okay. Well, like I said, Alezi doesn't really care about that. She probably hardly notices that. She's just interested in protecting little Oona.
Big sister already.
Yay.
Well,
Yay.
I'd love to stay and catch up, but I have to get back to my duties, arranging this. Was there anything else? I'd love to talk with you guys later and catch up with you, Alezi.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't want to keep you right now, but maybe we can have a drink later.
Yeah, we're at the tavern that Docs, I forgot the name of the tavern.
Rainy Day Tavern.
We're at the Rainy Day Tavern, so definitely, come stop by and hang out with Alezi and tell us more about Northwall.
I might just do that. I'm not a huge drinker myself, but I'd love for a bit of conversation. I'm going to get back to work now, but I'll talk to you guys soon. Yes?
Yeah, see ya.
Absolutely.
And Rhodes walks off because he's very bad at ending conversations.
Oona waves energetically as he walks away. Yes, finally.
Anything else?
Nope. Alezi is eager to get the fighting underway.
All right. Well, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. It takes about 20 minutes to get all the interviews done. There are a lot of people who've shown up. Glancing around,
Some of them are not so good with the interview.
Yeah, definitely. Like, there are a couple of people who just aren't cooperating, so it takes a little while. Looking around, Alezi, you would evaluate that most of these guys are just thugs who are really only there trying to throw their weight around. They're not necessarily experienced combatants. So,
all right.
There's going to be a lot of that going on.
Do I have any sense of how many are on an equal level to me as far as experience goes?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Insight. I don't know Alezi's mods as well as I do Rav's. So
Well, I mean, you've been playing Ravanya much longer.
Yeah.
That would be a character in another game I'm running for your listeners.
7.
Okay. It's hard to tell. You never were that great at evaluating folks, and there's a few people in here that look difficult to evaluate. A few people that don't look like a whole lot, but they're also the sorts that might have skill over brawn. So it's a little hard to evaluate. You get the impression that you are above average, but not necessarily remarkable.
All right,
so it takes a good 20 minutes to get the interviews done, and then Melida, the dwarven lady, starts getting brackets together so everyone can get paired up correctly. How is Flynn going to be doing wagers during this?
Aren't there right before the fight wages?
Yes,
When you
but there's a minute before each fight where Melida is taking wagers from everyone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I want to wait for a Alezi fight to bet.
Okay, so you're not going to wager on any of the other ones?
No, not on randoms.
Okay, cool. So we'll skip through the first few fights then. There's definitely a lot of people who are in here interested in brawls, so no weapons, no spell casting. And there is one fighter who is caught cheating by having someone in the audience casting spells to make him stronger. And both the spellcaster and the cheater are disqualified and laughed out of the square. Melida is encouraging everyone to point to the cheaters and jeer at them. Shauna looks upset at the cheating as well. So we do eventually get down to Alezi's fight, and Alezi is paired up with a big broad-shouldered bald guy. He's removed his shirt, and you can see a tattoo of a skull on his right pec. And he looks strong, but he also... Give me an insight check, both Flynn and Alezi, and if anybody else is wagering on this, I need it from you as well.
Oh man, I'm rolling horribly.
You are. Alezi, you're not sure how to evaluate this guy. He looks pretty tough.
Alright.
Same message for Flynn.
Okay, I'm gonna bet 15 gold on Alezi to win this.
As you say that, Melida's like, whoa, laddie. The gold limit is 5 gold pieces for tonight. We don't want anyone to go bankrupt before they can see the main event. These are just the tryouts.
Okay, 3 gold.
3 gold?
On Alezi to win. Yeah.
Very well. And you'll double your money if you win. Melida continues taking wagers, and then gets the fight started. So
All right.
the ring is just made up of spectators. There's no actual structure making a ring, but the ring is about 20 feet in diameter, and you and this dude are starting on the other side.
All right.
So if you're ready, roll for initiative.
Let's do that. So my dex is...
You said Melida's last name was Wormhearth, right?
Wormhearth, yes.
Okay.
14.
All right. Alezi, you get to make the first move. So, Melida holds up a bell and smacks it really hard to make a loud ringing noise, signaling the start of the fight.
All right. So, Alezi's going to... This guy's pretty big, you said?
Yeah, this guy is 5 foot 11 feet tall, but very broad-shouldered and barrel-chested. He has a bit of a beer gut, but it's clear that he lifts.
Do
he lifts,
you even
bro.
lift?
Yes,
All right.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Alright, so she's going to center an attack, just kind of trying to punch this guy in the gut to make him double over. 25.
Alright, easy hit. So you rush forward. Are you raging?
Yes.
Okay, about to say. You didn't say that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Alright, so you rush forward as soon as the bell hits in a flash of movement and get a punch straight to his solar plexus. Roll your damage.
Okay, and that's +2 damage for the rage. Is that unarmed was
1d2 plus your strength modifier plus your rage bonus.
Okay, I'm just gonna add the rage bonus into my strength mod.
Yeah.
7.
Alright. Okay, he actually, the hit makes a double over. He was not expecting such aggression immediately. So he's going to have disadvantage as he tries to recover and gives 2 quick swings to retaliate.
Alright.
6 and 13. I think those both miss. Okay, that was the first attack, so 6 misses definitely. And then he makes a second follow-up attack, and a 9 also misses. So he's too disoriented from the blow, and you're able to block the first blow. And the second blow hits you in the shoulder, but he doesn't have enough strength behind it, so you can just roll with it and ignore it.
Alright.
Your turn.
Alright, she, since she's got him doubled over, she's going to try to knee him in the face.
Go for it.
20.
Easy hit.
8.
Alright, and you did, how much before? 6?
7.
7. Okay. So, you immediately get him face up, and he stumbles backwards a bit, and seems to get his focus back, and shakes his head, grins at you, and then does another quick 1-2 combo. This one won't be with disadvantage. Miss, miss. So, again, you're able to block both blows with your forearms, and they don't really do anything.
Great. This time she's going to try to just slam into him with her shoulder.
Go for it.
15.
That will still hit.
8.
You slam into him, and he stumbles back just a little bit. His nose is bloody, he's breathing heavily, he can barely stand, but he's trying not to go down without landing a punch. Another quick set of punches. 13 and 18.
1 hits.
Alright, so you block the first one, but then he gets a cheeky blow, punching you in your gut.
Alright, so, it knocks the wind out of her a little bit.
4 damage. But you've clearly got him on the ropes.
So, once she shrugged off the surprise of that hit landing, she just kind of grins and tries to make an uppercut punch.
Go for it.
24.
Easy hit.
That's 7 damage.
Alright, yeah, you knock him out. Get him straight in the chin. I actually just hit myself in the chin as I did that, and it hurt a little bit. I'm very smart. Shut up.
You're just very dedicated to your craft.
Indeed. That was so dumb. So you get him straight in the chin, and he falls over backwards. Not unconscious, but he's definitely disoriented, and he's waving his hands and shaking his head. It's like he's done. Melida rings the bell 3 times and goes, "The winner, Alezi!" Cheers go up. That was decisive. Flynn, you make your 3 gold bet.
Alezi, after the rage has subsided from the battle, her opponent has not gotten to his feet. She's going to walk over there and offer him a hand.
It takes him a second to realize what's going on. He flinches at first, but then he takes the hand and lets you help him up.
Right. So she doesn't say anything to him. She helps him up, gets him over to the side of the arena, and kind of just pats him on the shoulder.
Is it like that scene with Arnold Schwarzenegger where they like clench wrists and they're big and muscly?
Not quite. Like he's a little too out of it for that to happen. Shauna comes over to heal him up a little bit. You are not offered any healing, Oona. Or not Oona, Alezi. Why did I say Oona? What is wrong
we
with
do
me?
that a lot.
I seem to be doing that way too much.
Is Alezi damaged?
Yeah, she took a punch.
Yeah.
But Alezi's not being offered any healing.
Are you sure?
Is this one of those rounds where you have to go into the next round with the same damage you had before?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, because I was gonna say, if it wasn't against the rules, Rhodes would be healing the other person.
Rhodes was briefed that healing would be applied to the losers so they don't lose consciousness.
Yeah. There we go.
This is supposed to be a bit of a gauntlet, so
Okay.
Melida's instructions were to let the winners go on with whatever bruises they've got.
Yeah, cool. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't being implied that Rhodes was totally like.
No, Rhodes is if he wants to follow the rules, he should not heal her.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
Dox, I have a question.
What's up?
I know you said the arena isn't really an arena; it's just made up of people. Is it indoors or outdoors?
It is outdoors.
It is outdoors. Is it like an open field or is it like a street?
It's kind of a cobblestone square.
Okay.
And again, you guys are in shade side, which I don't know if I actually described this to Rhodes. So, shade side is Shade side is called that because it is beneath a floating landmass that casts it in constant shade. So you can see the sun out from underneath, coming out from underneath sky side, the landmass above you. But for the most part, all of shade side is in constant shadow.
Depressing.
A little bit. So, a few more fights happen, and then they get to the first round of weapon-based fighting. And it doesn't take long before Flynn is brought up into the ring. Does anybody want to make wagers?
Yeah. Alezi's gonna throw in 3 gold.
All right. On whom?
On Flynn.
All right. So Flynn's opponent is an orc man with a big cudgel. It's a It's basically a shaped piece of wood, but it's been shaped fairly well. Has a knob at the end. It's basically a shillelagh, and he's gripping it both hands. This dude has thick dreadlocks and black hair that falls down to his shoulders. He's got the standard orc tusks, green skin, broad build. He's wearing simple leather armor.
All right. Do we have a chance to insight him?
You do.
Me too?
Yes.
15.
Okay. All right. So that's a 19 for Flynn. So both of you get the impression that this guy has been around the block a few times. He looks a little older than the average combatant here. It's sometimes hard to tell with orcs because they have naturally wrinkled and weathered skin. But this guy does look a little bit older than the average, and he definitely knows how to swing that cudgel. So this might be a difficult match. Especially since Flynn does not have allies to help him. So Flynn might have a hard time getting sneak attacks in.
Yeah, just a question. Flynn is a rogue, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Alright. So 1 second, let me bring up Cudgel Guy sheet?
That's a terrible superhero name.
Cudgel Guy.
It's me, Cudgel Guy. You're hit things.
Either a mix between like he's like your cuddle guy, or is that an STD?
Alright. Roll for initiative. Alright, Cudgel Guy's got an 11, so he'll go first. So, the ring forms up more or less the same, a ring of people about 20 feet in diameter. It's not a perfect circle, but it's close enough, and you're on a cobblestone square. There's a lot of cheering and hollering and people ready to see some fighting happen. So, remind me, you said light spellcasting, right, Flynn?
Yeah.
Alright, so, before he steps forward, the orc points to Flynn and mutters an incantation. You have been hunter's marked. And then the dude charges forward and takes a swing. Let me make sure I've got the right sheet up. Okay. So, swings at you. Total miss. He trips up on one of the cobblestones and has to spend most of his time regaining his footing. So I'm going to say, let's roll a d20 to see how badly that is. He does recover himself fairly well though, so there's no further effect. Flynn, it's your turn.
Okay. 2 basic normal attacks just to see what he's got.
Okay. Swing. So that's a action bonus action for your dual wield?
Yeah.
Got it. Roll them. Easy hit.
And should I roll the second one? Or
Yeah, go ahead and roll the second attack first, since you can just press up. Another
19.
easy hit. Alright, so, roll your damage. You do not have sneak attack.
4 on the first hit,
Okay.
and then 3 on the second hit.
Okay, so you get 2 quick cuts in, one on his arm and one nicking his thigh a little bit. But he just grins and bears it. orcs are known for being tough motherfuckers, and you can see evidence of scarring on his face, so this isn't the first time he's been cut. Alright, so that was a total of 7 damage. Alright, so he follows up with another quick swing. What the fuck? Alright, that's another natural 1. Let's see if he stumbles. So again, like, the cobblestones seem to be working against this guy. He takes a swing, but one of the stones he's standing on is loose and actually shifts, and it ruins his aim. But he does recover before you can take advantage of it. Your turn.
Okay. Two normal attacks again.
Okay.
Because I'm not really in danger yet.
Roll them. That'll hit.
19 and 21.
Fuck me. Alright, 2 more hits. The dice want Cudgel Man's blood.
5 and 3.
Alright. So, 2 more quick cuts. He's not even breathing heavily yet. But the attacks seem to not be working out, so he decides to go for a different tactic and actually rushes you and tries to grab you. So you can take... This is going to be opposed athletics versus your acrobatics or athletics. Alright, so you're unable to wriggle your way out. He grabs you and actually, he goes for your legs and takes your legs out from under you. You are now grappled.
Okay.
Your turn.
Remembering earlier in the day, I will cast Shocking Grasp on him.
Okay, you're going to have disadvantage because it is still a spell in melee, so and you are grappled, so disadvantage as you try to get him. Well, that's a natural 1. Alright, so before you can even finish casting the spell, he bops you in the chin with his fist, and it messes up the spell, so it doesn't go off. Okay. So he attempts to pin you to the ground. This is another athletics or acrobatics check from you. Alright, so you struggle mightily. You feel like you're almost getting out of his grasp, but then he finds a weakness and gets you and pins you to the ground. You are now pinned, and he pulls out a hatchet and starts hacking at you.
Whoa.
And he's going to have advantage on this attack. That's a natural 20.
Oh
no!
Flynn, no! You're losing me money!
Yeah. Let's see, and I believe orcs do get brutal critical, don't they?
Oh no.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds terrible.
I heard the word brutal in it, it's gonna be bad.
It means instead of doubling the die, he gets extra die.
Oh, he doubles the die too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice 1 additional time. So he triples instead of doubles the dice.
Basically, this is the Mortal Kombat fatality.
Sort of. So let's roll this. It could have been worse. So he gets you a solid chop in your shoulder. You take 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
Alright. And he has a hunter's mark on you, so that's an additional 1d6 that gets doubled because it's a critical.
What class is this guy?
He is a ranger.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. So there's another 3 damage.
Just be glad he doesn't have Colossus Slayer then.
Not yet. Alright, so that was a big hit, Flynn. What are you going to do about it?
Okay, so now I am in trouble, so it's time for a spell. And I will cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Go for it. You need to make a Constitution saving throw because you are grappled. So this is your concentration check to cast the spell while grappled.
Okay. 21.
Alright, so you... even as he's trying to move your arm so that it ruins the somatic components, he doesn't quite manage it, and the spell goes off. What is the save DC? And
Wisdom save of 12.
Alright, let me make sure. I believe rangers are proficient in wisdom saves. I'm not sure about that. Nope, he's not, so... he's still fairly wise. Alright, so that's a 15. I believe that beats your save. So, you see him starting to... and shakes it off and goes for another chop. And you are still pinned, so he's going to have advantage. That's a natural 19, so I'm sure that will hit.
Yep.
Alright. Wow, he did almost as much damage with 1d6 as he did with 3d6. That first 3d6 was not a good roll, but this is a good roll. So that's 9 slashing damage as he gets you a good hit in the chest. Your armor prevents it from actually cutting in, but the impact is really painful.
Okay.
Your turn if you're still conscious.
I am.
Una's kind of like off to the side going, I wanted to see him punched in the face. I didn't really want him to see him hacked.
Okay.
People are loving this.
Okay, I have one other thing that might save me, or else I lose in the next turn. So
Yeah.
I will. I don't know if it will work because he's an orc, so he's bound to have high constitution. But Thunder Wave.
Go for it. And he is not proficient. Make your concentration check. Alright, that
19.
succeeds. Alright, so he's fairly tough. Let's see if he makes it. That's a 20, so yes. He succeeds in the save. I believe he still takes damage from the Thunder Wave, correct?
Yes.
Half damage?
Half damage. So it's,
Alright, roll it.
Half of 2d8.
So you can either roll 1d8 or roll 2d8 and we'll divide it. I know those don't have the exact same numbers, but I think that that's a fair way to do it. Okay, so we fractions round down, so he will take 5 damage.
Okay, and he's not pushed away.
He is not pushed away. Alright, so that one's still, like, he definitely felt that as he almost raised off the ground a bit. But he recovers and manages to get back down and keep you pinned where you are. The crowd loves this. But he goes for another hack. And I did not add Hunter's Mark last turn, but that's on me, so... Alright, so he has advantage. That's a 15 and a 16 for 20 and 21 total. I'm sure that hits.
Yep.
The 2d6 is the Hunter's Mark added in.
If he gets more than 5, I'm done.
Alright, yeah, you're done. Alright, so this last one gets you straight in the chest again, same spot as before, and your armor is already slightly damaged from it, and it's not enough to handle this blow. You feel ribs cracking as the axe bites in, and you lose consciousness. Rhodes, you were told that you're the one healing this one, so
Cool. I move in right away then. As soon as I see the lights leave his eyes.
Right, yeah. The orc immediately backs off and raises his axe and gets the crowd cheering for him.
Cool. Let me see.
The instructions were to heal them enough, like, not completely, because you need to conserve your healing. So, make sure that he's not gonna die, and then he has to tend to his own wounds. That was your instructions.
So, how many hit points are you at right now?
He's at 0.
Negative?
It does not go negative. He's just at 0.
Okay, I'm just gonna expend 2 of my lay on hands then.
Alright, that would do it. So, the fatal wound closes up, but Flynn, you wake up and you're still very sore.
Okay.
Let's see if that's gonna leave a scar. It will not.
Rhodes is gonna go ahead and help him to his feet though.
The orc guy also helps him to his feet and pats Flynn on the back. He's like, "Yo, dude, did good. Good spell work there. I liked it. The crowd liked it." Like, he waves for the crowd to give Flynn a hand, and they do. Like, people seem to have enjoyed that fight. He goes, "You seem like the type who likes to, do the sneaky shit with your swords, right?
Yeah.
I heard that the Blood in the Sand folks do team fights. Maybe you want to talk to Melody about that, yeah?
Maybe another day.
Alright, well, good fight, man." And he pats you on the back and heads back into the crowd. Alezi, you lose your bet.
Right. Alezi's kind of grumbling about that, but she, after tossing her coins over, or I guess she had
The
already
coins would have
given them
already
the
been
coins,
given.
Yeah. She immediately runs over to Flynn, and she's actually gonna, if she has time, she's gonna help bandage him up.
You definitely have time, and both Rhodes and crap, I have too many NPCs going on already. Where did I put the notes?
Melida.
Shauna, thank you. Shauna. Both Meletta and Shauna, both Rhodes and Shauna have bandages on hand, and they're definitely you've been instructed to apply bandages liberally.
All right. Do I need to make a medicine check or?
You can.
Oh, it's a 6.
I mean, I would have said that a 5 is a decent patch job given the circumstances. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's not the cleanest bandaging, but it'll do. It's it's a very clean bandage because you want bandages to be clean. What I meant is not the most elegant bandaging.
Alezi's kind of too busy, like, chuckling. She keeps going, man, you got your ass handed to you. It was a good show. Good show.
Una's just kind of like, I wanted to see you punched, but I really didn't want to see you hacked, and that was kind of physically painful for me to watch. Please don't do that again.
I will let you peek behind the screen a little bit and say, you did take him down to half.
While we're behind the screen, if he hadn't pinned me, or if I had gotten up, I would have absolutely used my bag of tricks to get sneak attack.
That would have been a good idea. And I think, it would have been allowed by the rules as well.
Yeah, I just didn't want to waste it on my first fight if I didn't need to, but at that point I absolutely would have needed it. So.
Yeah. I see what you're going for there. It's a good plan, but he pinned you.
Right,
okay.
Next fight.
Rhodes wanted to say something?
Yeah, Rhodes is absolutely furrowing his brow and frowning at the fact that Flynn's supposed friends are saying they wanted to see him get beat up.
Well, Alezi did not say that, but Alezi is laughing.
Una is kind of like wearing her hands together, going, "Oh man, I feel bad. I wanted to see you get punched, I didn't want to see you get hacked."
All right. So a few more fights go by. More weapons fighting. There are two pair of magi who came to do wizarding duels, and they actually are probably the lowest point of the show. Their spells are actually not as flashy as they need to be for a good wizard duel. And one guy clearly wins, but he wins by mostly casting magic missiles, and
Boo.
Yeah, it's a dull fight, and it doesn't go over well. Anyway, and then it comes time for Alezi's next fight, and Alezi's fight is against a halfling man. Looks very lithe, very limber. You can see him doing kind of kata as he prepares for the fight. Like, this guy is definitely going to be an issue. Roll insight checks if you want to evaluate him.
14.
Okay.
22. Natural
All right.
20.
Yeah. So for Alezi, you've seen these kind of fighters before. He's small. He's wearing no armor. He's not even wearing a shirt. He's displaying a tattoo with a Halonian symbol on it. Do any of you speak Halonian? I don't think so.
Let me check.
I do not.
I speak a lot of things, but I don't think Halonia is one of them.
It would also be noted as halfling.
No.
Okay, so none of you recognize this symbol, but he has a big tattoo of a symbol on his back. And he's doing katas. You suspect this guy knows his way around a brawl very well. Flynn, your evaluation, and Alezi, could you deafen yourself for a moment?
Yeah, hold on.
Is she gone?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't have this set up right. Okay, so your evaluation is that Alezi is able to do more damage, but this guy is going to be very hard to hit. But the thing is, the tactic that worked on you might work on this guy. So if Alezi thinks to actually grab him and make it so that he can't fully utilize his mobility, she might have an advantage. But if she doesn't, you think that the advantage would be for the halfling.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Welcome back. Cool. So, time for initiative. First,
Oh, wait,
Flynn.
I want to bet 2 gold on Alezi to win.
All right, cool. Oona, are you betting?
Yeah, I'll bet this time. I'll do 3 gold.
on Alezi, I presume?
Yes.
And Rhodes, is part of the event, you are not allowed to make wagers.
Rhodes wouldn't bet even if he could.
Gotcha. That does make sense for him. All right, the bell rings. Roll for initiative.
Ew.
Yeah. All right, so the halfling definitely gets to go first, and like a bolt of lightning, he is at and strikes twice. He does 2 quick kicks to your shins, trying to knock your legs out from under you. The first is a 14.
Does not hit.
Another 14. So he does make contact, but you see what you're prepared for it, and you actually stiffen your legs such that it just thuds against you. He doesn't have enough strength. He doesn't have enough power behind the kicks to really hurt you. So it doesn't really phase you. There might be a bruise later, but you take no damage. Your turn.
All right. So since he's at my feet, this is just going to be a kick, and I am using rage.
Okay.
What round is this? Would I know?
This is the first round. Oh wait, a round of the fighting?
Yeah. Like how many fights should Alezi expect to happen?
You would expect at most 1 more fight.
Okay, so yeah, I'm turning rage on.
Okay.
Eh.
That's a natural
that is a
one.
Crit fail.
Alright, but you recover from it. So you go for a kick, and he ducks underneath it. He's almost belly to the ground. He ducks so low. And you actually almost lose your balance. You overshot so hard, but you do recover, and you're able to defend yourself correctly. So he goes for another pair of kicks, this time going a little further up. Groin shots are forbidden by the rules, but thigh shots are not. So 2 quick kicks, a 12 and a 16.
Neither hit.
Wow, okay. So the first one you kind of weave away from, and the second you're able to stop with your forearm. Your turn.
Alright, so I'm actually going to try to throw all my weight down on him and pin him down.
Okay, go for it. That would be an athletics check against his acrobatics.
This will probably not go well.
I need to start labeling my stuff, because now I'm not sure what I did.
You said
Okay.
athletics?
Yeah, you need to roll athletics.
That's also yeah.
All right,
Thanks.
cool. So, you actually, he was not expecting you to fall on him, and he isn't able to get out of the way, and you have him grappled. He's not quite pinned yet, but you definitely have him in your grasp and at an advantage, and he's going to spend his turn attempting to escape. So that's another athletics check versus his acrobatics.
12.
All right, so he's able to he's very lithe, he's very quick, and he's able to wriggle his way out from under you. And so you return to a neutral position. It's your turn.
Okay. So she's going to take another not another kick. She's going to actually try to punch him this time.
All right, low punch coming in.
11.
That does not hit. So he just sidesteps out of the way easily, and he's going to go for he takes a moment to focus, and then does this really quick flurry of kicks that's like he actually jumps into the air and does a flip trying to kick at your face. He's going to make 3 attacks.
Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat.
That's a natural 20, a 22, and a 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. So, bam, bam, bam. The first one hits you straight in the jaw.
Alright.
That's 10 bludgeoning damage. And then you get 2 more hits to your upper chest. 4 bludgeoning damage and 4 bludgeoning damage. You are
Okay,
raging, so I believe
yeah.
all of that is halved.
Yes, it is.
So, bam, bam, bam. The crowd is going wild as somebody finally connects. And it's that hurt, but you're able to focus through it in your rage.
Alright. So, actually, in character, this would probably be probably piss Alezi off enough to go into her frenzy.
All right.
I'm going ahead and do that. So it'll give me a single melee weapon attack as a bonus action.
Yep.
So she's just going to keep swinging. 16 and 25.
That hit. Both hit.
And the damage will be the same. Oh no, now.
Nope.
That is 8 damage and 8 damage.
Bam, bam. He reels from the blows. The flip left him a little bit off balance, and you're able to take advantage of that and punch him 2 times straight in the face. But this little halfling is tougher than he looks. So he's still on his feet. And speaking of feet, he goes for another series of 3 kicks, doing the same flip maneuver. 22, 13, and 14.
Okay, 1 hits.
All right, so you get one. He gets 1 good hit in, but you see it now that you've seen it once. You know how to defend better against it. So the first one gets you in the shoulder, but then you put your forearms up to block the worst of the second 2 blows. You take 5 bludgeoning damage.
All right, so that would be would that be 2 or 3?
That would we round down, so 2.
Okay, that's kind of saving my hide right now.
Yeah, definitely. This is why barbarians make good brawlers. Like, monks are not the only brawlers.
Yeah. Okay. So, Alezi's just gonna keep on swinging. And, actually, she's gonna take 1 swing and then try to stomp on him with her bonus attack.
Okay.
Okay, the swing was an 8. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is my bonus attack where she's attempting to stomp on him. And that's a 14.
That will miss. So he, the first attack is just too high. He ducks a little bit, and then the stomp he sidesteps, and then he goes in for another pair of kicks. Not doing the same flip maneuver, but he is doing a couple of kicks to your shins. That's an 11 and an 18.
Okay, 1 hits.
Alright, so the first one, you just bring the tough side of your shin up and don't really notice any damage. But the second one, he gets you in the knee, and it kind of impacts a fair bit.
Okay.
4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
What's your HP at? I'm curious.
24.
Oh, wow. Okay. Your turn.
Alright. So, it's a bad idea, but,
I love bad ideas.
but I'm trying to play in character, so
Yeah.
she's kind of getting like a rabid dog at this point, so she's gonna take a reckless attack.
Go for it. Yes.
So I get to gain advantage on
Yes,
my attack
you
roll.
have advantage on all of your attack rolls for this turn, but your opponent has advantage against you.
Yes. Alright, so that's an 18 for the first attack.
That will hit.
Do you want me to roll my damage?
Roll attacks,
Okay.
since you can just press up for the most part. That'll hit.
And that's a 20. Okay.
All right, so you're almost frothing at the mouth at this point, and with no regard for your own safety, you just barrel in and bam, bam, roll your damage.
7 and 8.
All right. Oof. He reels from the blows, steps back he takes a couple of steps back, clearly, like, that puts some fear in him. You can see in his eyes that he's starting to doubt. Well, okay, you're in a frothing rage, so you probably can't really process it, but the crowd is cheering, and you can definitely tell that he's on his last legs. But you have left yourself completely open, and he has 1 key left. So it is time for another triple flip. That's a natural 20 on the first one, 23 on the second one, 22 on the third one.
He actually would have made all of those except 1
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I hadn't done it, so I didn't actually put myself in that worse of a position.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. Hey, that's what... Barbarians are not there to deflect damage. They are there to soak it.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, are you keeping your shield on for these stats? I just realized that you use a shield, and that would not be allowed in the brawl.
Oh, that is right. Yes, I hadn't put that off, but it just puts my armor to a 16. So
Yeah, so there's been a couple of hits that would have hit because of that. I'm going to roll 1 extra hit for this because we forgot
Okay.
to take off your shield. Is that fair?
yeah.
All right. So now for the damage.
All right.
Ready? Did
Yep.
you have something more to say?
No.
Okay. Rolling damage. So we're going to do the 3 non-criticals first. So there's 7 bludgeoning, 5 bludgeoning, and 7 bludgeoning, and then the critical hit. 11 bludgeoning. So, realizing that he's running out of energy to do this, he makes a desperate attack and gets you straight in your face. 4 really quick blows. Bam, 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 bam. He's punching and kicking at this point. It's a flurry of limbs. But I don't think you're down yet.
I am not.
All right, your turn.
Okay. I was making sure I added that up correctly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Alezi's gonna keep going with the, I don't have a limit on my reckless attacks, do I?
Nope, it is just an option for you.
Yep. So, that's gonna keep going.
It seemed to work out for you before. And that is a natural 20.
Yep. That's just the advantage, just because.
Sure. Second attack. All right.
24.
I'm not even going to make you roll damage. Describe to me in the manner in which you dispatch this foe.
Okay, so basically, she just kind of runs and jumps right into him, fist swinging, pins him on the ground, and just takes one good swing into his jaw.
You see blood spray out of his jaw and hit the cobblestones, and he actually skids away from you a few inches from the force of the blow, and he is out.
All right.
All right. The bell rings 3 times. Oona, you've been asked to do the healing for this round.
Cool. Then I'll just use Cure Wounds on him.
All right. And you've also been asked to do the healing in another round, so this would be your last one.
Okay. I actually have he regained 7 health points. I actually have
You should have 2nd level spells.
Yeah,
So you could do a little more.
Okay.
All right. So the bell rings 3 times, and Melida comes over and attempts to raise Una's hand, but she's a dwarf, so she can't actually raise it.
Alezi's hand.
Alezi, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. God damn it! Alezi is what I meant.
Every time you do that.
I don't know why I'm so stupid. Anyway.
You know, she goes to raise Una's hand and then realizes she doesn't know
No,
what she's
that's
doing.
not what happens. Fuck you. All right.
Knows what's going on.
All right. So yes, Melida comes to raise Alezi's hand, and I know what's going on here. In my head, Oona is an orc name, and Alezi is a Jogan name. So I'm getting them mixed up. Now, I'm wrong, because Oona is a fine Jogan name, and Alezi is a, Alezi would be named in an Eldar style, but in my head, Oona sounds like an orc name. That's why I keep getting you guys mixed up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me being stupid. So Alezi is the focus of attention, while the halfling man is still getting his recovering his faculties.
Okay, it takes quite a while for Alezi to come back to her senses, but once she does, how does she judge how the crowd liked that?
Oh, they loved it. They're eating this up. That was a good fight.
Awesome.
And Oona, remember that we both got money for that.
Yes. It was 2 gold for Flynn and 3 gold for Oona, I think.
We double it, don't we?
Yes.
So it's 6.
Yep. Well, I mean, you earn back the 3 and then get 3 more.
Okay.
So it's a profit of 3 for you. Okay. So, the crowd loved it. People are calling out your name.
Oona helps the halfling fighter kind of off the side.
How is Alezi reacting?
Hold on. I'm trying to look at exhaustion here.
You have disadvantage on checks.
Okay.
So, stuff like athletics will be a disadvantage now.
Alright. So, okay. So, Alezi's kind of feeling the pain from that fight, so she's not really reacting to the crowd as she should, but she kind of raises her hand as she's walking out from the arena.
Excellent. Okay. And then Melida also says, "Let's hear it for this one as well," and points to the halfling, who I haven't come up with a name with, so shut up. And the crowd gives him consolation
Bilbo.
cheers as well.
Yay, Bilbo!
No. No.
Bilbo's an asshole. We don't want Bilbo.
No. We don't want any of those halflings. Like those Tolkien-esque halflings would be closer to gnomes in a D&D setting, to be honest.
I love this section of Dox's opinions on things.
Yes. I have a lot of opinions, and I am going to tell you about them.
It's my favorite pop-out reoccurring segment from this.
I have actually decided that if Flynn dies, my next character is going to be a full elf ranger with a back shield, with a back sword. Back sword.
Back sheath. And the back sheath will actually impose disadvantage on your first round of attacks. I'm not joking. Back sheaths are that stupid. But Elven Ranger, yeah, if that's what you have to do. I've expressed a dislike for elves to Flynn in previous conversations, but we're off the rails. We should be talking about the fights. So, more fights are going on, but the fights are becoming lower and lower in quality because the fighters are already exhausted. And at this point, because the fights are declining in quality, Merida decides, very well, we have one last fight. And this is going to be Alezi versus Braun. And remember the bear guy who was talking to you before? You see him come out, bruised to hell, with a split lip, but grinning like mad as he steps into the ring. He's like, "Oh yeah, I was hoping we'd be fighting. Come on, let's do this." And claps his hands and gets into a fighting stance.
Yeah, Alezi was kind of off in her own little world.
I'll say that you had enough time resting to use one hit die.
Okay, that helps. And my hit die is a D12.
Nice.
Yes, barbarians have good
That's
hit
what
die.
barbarians get.
And
This time, Flynn would like to bet 5 gold on Braun.
Oh.
oh, you asshole.
And I say that where Alezi can hear me.
Rage is already on. You don't have to turn it on in battle. Okay, do you want me to actually roll my d12, or do I have
Yes.
to?
You roll the d12.
Alright, 8.
Plus your constitution mod?
Plus my constitution, 11.
Alright. Cool. So, any more
Is that
bets?
what you're at?
I am curious what your HP is now.
It is 23.
Okay.
Dang.
So 1 point off of the last time we checked with you.
I mean, barbarians, that's what they do.
Can I roll an insight on Braun before I
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I need to do that too. But as I was saying, she was kind of off in her own little world.
All right.
While
Alezi,
it was getting announced.
yeah, Alezi, since you are exhausted, you have disadvantage on this insight.
Okay, but as soon as she sees that it's Braun out there, she's like, "Oh yeah, it's my buddy!" Just starts running out there.
Okay, since I don't have an insight modifier, I just used my regular wisdom, right?
That's right.
Aw, man.
That's unfortunate. Okay,
Yeah.
Alezi, you can't really get a read on him. You're too punch drunk. Please deafen for a moment.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, is she deafened? I need to get Discord. I got too many
Yes.
screens up. Okay. So, Oona, you don't think Alezi has a chance realistically. This guy seems like, even though he's been punched to hell, he seems a whole lot more alert and present than Alezi right now. He's borne the damage that has come at him so far better than she has. So you think that Braun is definitely the favorite to win here. Welcome back. Okay.
I look Flynn in the eye and go 5 on Alezi.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. If that's all the betting, the bell rings. And roll for initiative.
Do I have disadvantage on this as well?
Yes. This is a dex check.
Well,
yeah, you lose either way. Alright, so Braun goes first. He gives you a big, toothy grin. You can see that one tooth is gone, and that might be...
wait, she rolled d10s there.
You did roll
I
d10s.
did?
Good
Oh.
eye.
Thank you for catching that. Slip of the fingers.
Yeah, that wouldn't be fair.
Oh, I almost did it again.
Alright,
Okay.
you get to go first.
Oh, yay!
Well done, Flynn. Alright, so you get to go at him first.
Right, so, like I said, she's already mad because of Flynn.
I'll let you have that.
So, she's just gonna take one good swing at him to begin with. Start this off right.
Indeed. That
And
will hit.
Alright. That's 8 damage.
Alright. So you get him straight in the face, and he just looks at you and grins. Their teeth missing, and one of those spots where teeth are missing still has fresh blood on it. So that might be very recent. But he seems unfazed as he comes in for a bear hug on you. And this is going to be your acrobatics or athletics, and you have disadvantage because you are exhausted.
Okay.
All right.
14.
Nope. So he gets you in a bear hug and starts trying to crush you. But he's not crushing you enough to do damage yet. It's your turn.
Alright. So, grappling does not give me any disadvantages.
It gives you disadvantage on attacks, I believe.
Okay.
Let me double check that. This is important.
Yeah.
And want to make sure that I'm doing this fairly. Where is that? Okay. Grappled. The grappled creature's speed becomes 0. The condition ends at the... Alright, so no, nothing yet.
Alright. So, we're gonna go into frenzy, so she's gonna be very exhausted after this.
Okay. Oh, right. Since you're raging, you wouldn't... that gives you advantage on strength checks, right?
Yes.
So that would have actually canceled out, but you still lose. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go with you still lose on that one.
Okay.
But for future reference, you will actually be canceling out your disadvantage on athletics.
Alright. So she's not trying to get away at this point.
Okay.
But she's going to take 2 heavy punches.
Miss.
Um,
Natural 20.
Natural 20. So do we double the die or
Roll 2 die.
okay.
And you're using human stats, so you don't get the brutal critical.
Okay.
Alright. 8 damage. So you manage to, your arms are almost pinned down, so you're not quite there yet, but you do manage to get a good hit in his side. He grunts, like he's definitely feeling it, but he's still not relenting. And now he is going to attempt to suplex you. This is going to be opposed athletics checks.
I don't know what suplex means.
Basically he's going to take her, like he's got her in a bear hug, and he's going to attempt to lift her up.
He leans back and lifts her up and drops her on her head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wrestling move.
Yeah, it's a wrestling move.
Yeah.
Like, this is a wrestler. And he's also going to use his bonus action to go into a rage, so he has advantage.
Alright, and then I cancel out my disadvantage.
Yes.
That's a 22.
That's a 25. Oh, it's so close. You almost get out of his grasp, but no, he at the very end, he takes control, clenches your arms together, and slams you into the ground. You'll take 6 bludgeoning damage, and you are now prone as well as grappled, because he's got you pinned.
Alright.
And prone does give you disadvantage, I believe.
Yeah. Or I think it gives the person attacking you advantage.
Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
that's right.
believe
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, you have. So he has advantage to do more to you.
Alright, so she's first going to try to get away from him. But
Alright,
she's also
so-
going to use her bonus attack, so she'll get an attack
Okay.
too.
So I'm going to say that because you are exhausted, and then he has you pinned, so that's a disadvantage. Disadvantage. It does not cancel the one advantage does not cancel out 2 disadvantages. You have disadvantage on this. If you want to switch to an attack instead, I will allow it.
How bad is he looking? Can she tell, or is she too?
You've done some damage, but he doesn't look like he's relenting at all.
Alright, so, she's going to actually try to get away.
Okay.
If she can, she's going to try to, roll him over where she has the advantage. But,
Alright, that will require 2 successful checks
okay.
to do
That
a
would take her-
reversal.
Would that take her bonus?
Yes, that will
Would
be your attack and your bonus.
Okay, well, then she won't do that. She's just going to try to get away.
Okay. Alright, so he is
athletics.
raging, so...
That's a 17.
And that's a 12. You get... Alright, so you manage to kick him up and get out from under him. You are still prone, but he is no longer grappling you. And you can just get up.
Yeah, I'm just going to get up, and that's my movement, right?
Yeah, that's half your movement.
Alright, so I can still give him another punch.
I'll
Punch.
allow it. Punch.
Punch. Super punch.
No, you can't do that.
Whoa!
She just rolled a 20 plus 6 instead of a 1d20. I'm not going to allow that. Nice try. I
Don't
respect the
forget, she rolled-
grift.
14.
What were you saying?
She rolled a 20 plus 6 paunch. She typed out paunch. That's an
Yes.
important detail here.
That is an important detail. Paunch. Paunch.
Paunch, paunch.
All right, but the punch does not work. He takes it in the chest, but rolls with it enough that it doesn't really have much impact.
Alright.
All right, so now that you've gotten out of his grapple, he gives you a nod, another grin, it's like respect, and starts going at you brawling instead. And he is going to reckless attack.
Alright.
What?
Respect the paunch. Respect it.
No, okay, we're done with that. That is a 21 to hit, which I presume does.
Yes.
5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I propose that from now on, to speed this up, we ignore the after this round, we ignore the resistance because both of you have it.
Okay.
So,
After this one?
yeah, so since you went first, starting this round, we start ignoring resistance.
Okay.
Alright. So, just to speed this up a little bit. Alright, so you will take 2 damage from that after your resistance, and now it's your turn.
Okay. So, he used relentless attack.
Yeah, he used the reckless, so you have advantage on him.
Yeah, reckless. So I have advantage. So Alezi's gonna take that opportunity and just keep swinging at his face, because that seems to be doing more damage than his gut. 14.
That will miss.
Okay, and here's the second attack. Ah,
That will also miss. Alright, so he's just grinning at you as he bobs and weaves out of range of your punches. And he goes for another one. That is a natural 20.
ugh.
I mean,
He's
it's only 2d2.
Yeah.
He's not an orc, so he doesn't get the brutal critical. That is 7 bludgeoning damage, and we are ignoring the resistance now.
Okay. I've still got 11 HP.
Alright, yeah, that's why we're ignoring resistance. Your turn.
Yeah. Alright. So that was not a reckless attack.
No,
Okay. So I'm gonna use a reckless attack this time.
go for it. That's a
26.
natural 20.
Natural 20 with a
Yep.
reckless attack.
Yep. Roll your other attack first.
Okay. 16.
That will connect.
Okay, so I will roll the non-crit first.
Okay.
That's an 8,
Okay.
and that's a 10.
He felt that one. Bam! Straight in his jaw. He takes a couple of steps back. Looks a little dazed from that one. But he's still going, and you have opened yourself up, so he's going to take advantage of that. That is a 24 to hit, which will do 5 damage. Your turn. It's just a straightforward jab, straight to your chest.
Alright, she definitely felt that, but she's just gonna keep on swinging. She's kind of just desperately swinging out now, and she's also going to be using Reckless Attack again.
Alright.
That is a 21.
That connects. That
And
connects.
That is a 20. Okay, so 1d2. 2 7 damages.
Ouch. He's also on his last legs. He's almost out. But he's not out yet. He takes another punch straight at you because you left yourself open. That is a 25. 6 damage.
Oh, I had 6 HP.
Oh, if he had rolled a 1, that was a 50-50. If he had rolled a 1 instead of the 2, you would have had one more turn, and I think you would have knocked him out next round.
Oh man.
All right, so
close.
Both of you are barely standing. You can see the knees starting to shake as standing becomes difficult, and you're going for really wide sweeping attacks, much more desperate, and he's taking smaller, more precise punches. Still grinning, but definitely breathing heavily, and he just gets that one last hit to your face, and you stumble backwards and fall to your knees, and you're unable to you push against the ground as hard as you can, but it's not enough. You can't bring yourself to your feet. The bell rings 3 times, and Braun is declared the victor. The crowd goes wild. Let's see, Rhodes, you're on healing duty.
Yeah. All right. As soon as I see a clear opportunity, I move in, and I'm gonna, because this is the last fight, right?
Yes, this is it.
I'm gonna use lay on hand.
We're going to say that your lay on hands is down to 1/3 capacity because you've healed other fights that we've brushed over.
Oh, cool. Because I was going to do. Oh no, 1/3.
Yeah.
All right, then that leaves me with 5. Then I give all 5 over.
Okay.
Wait. Actually, I might have something else. Let me check.
I'm going to say your spells are spent.
I was just checking to see if I had a channeled divinity that would help with this.
I don't think you do.
I don't. All right. Yep. All 5.
All right.
Alezi.
Alezi is back to 5.
Yay.
And I try to help her to her feet, but Alezi is dense,
You're pretty tough. You're pretty strong though. It takes some effort, but you are able to help Alezi up. And you can see that Melida is also holding up Braun at this point. Letting Braun use her as basically something to lean on, and is doing her best to take the weight. Braun has one hand in the air and is waving to the audience, and as Alezi gets to her feet, he moves towards you, Alezi, and claps you on the back and grins.
She kind of grunts when he smacks her on the back because it probably hurts.
A little bit.
And she's like, damn it. Next time, buddy.
Yeah, next time. That could have gone either way. Oh, God, that hurt.
You're telling me. And she just has this big, goofy grin on her face. She obviously, even though she lost, she was having the time of her life.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Melida comes up and goes, "Very well. That concludes tonight's Blood on the Sand tryouts. observers, not much interesting for you anymore at this point. Fighters, stick around. I'll be speaking to each of you about possible prospects. Thank you very much for coming to watch. I hope you all had fun. And, yeah, good night. Bye.
Does she make little shooing motions to them too to get people to leave?
Yes. Like, she starts like, bye. Piss off.
Ta-ta!
Shauna
Yeah.
immediately comes over to Alezi and smiles, saying, "A beautiful performance, milady. That was a wonder to see."
Oh, thank you. Glad you enjoyed the show.
The muse thanks you, as do I.
She was just saying that she didn't know much about the Muse, except for, her friend knows more. She kind of, points to wherever Oona is.
Oh, Shauna looks to Oona and goes, "And thank you again for coming out to help us. Here, let me give you some compensation." And she passes you 5 silver, which would be enough to cover your costs for the day. Meanwhile, Flynn and Alezi, you will need to pay 5 silver for living expenses, since you didn't work tonight.
Alright.
Okay.
Shauna says, a song magi. Your sort are always welcome in the Temple of the Muse. He loves the song magi. Please, if you have time, come and see us. We would love to speak with you more. And you as well, athlete. And she bows to Alezi.
Where's your temple at?
She gives quick instructions on where to get to it that we can hand wave. It would be wonderful to see more at his temple. Shauna looks to Melida, smiles, and says, "And the Muse thanks you for organizing this wonderful event, my dear. Thank you so much. I hope to see you again soon. I do believe our business is concluded for the night." Melida nods and goes, "Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for coming out to heal us up, and hope to work with you again, lass. Take care." And Shauna, unless somebody stops her, is going to head off.
Rhodes waves to her as she goes.
Mello looks at Rhodes and goes, "Well, the lover is not the usual sort to be at these events, but I was glad to have you nonetheless."
Thank you, Melida. It was certainly an interesting experience. I, just happy to help and
No.
get some public face for my god.
Well,
Sorry,
you certainly
long
did, and I'm sure he appreciates it.
That they do. I might be back. This
Good,
is
good.
definitely not my normal scene, but I'm happy to help. If you ever need,
You
fill-in-
paladin sorts do well in the ring sometimes. You could always, you'd be welcome to come in to actually participate sometime.
Rhodes laughs and rubs the back of his neck. No, sport fighting isn't exactly my style, but I appreciate the offer. No, I'm happy just to mend people up.
Well, the offer stands if you ever change your mind, lad.
Thank you, Melida. That's very kind of you.
Well, Melody starts talking to the fighters. A lot of the fighters, she just says, "You're no good, piss off."
That probably includes Flynn.
No, when she comes to Flynn, she's like, You have potential. I like the way you mix in your melee fighting and your spellcasting. But you need a bit more training in one-on-one fighting. The way you fought, I was watching you, and I got the impression that you were used to fighting in a team. And we can make that happen. I feel like you could do well if you had other people to work with. So, I'm not writing you off, but you still need to earn your place a little bit. In a future date, we'll have team matches. If you can find someone to fight alongside you, 1 or 2 people, we could arrange something for you, lad.
Okay, I'll think about it.
For now, I think you need to go get a drink, my boy. Take it easy. She moves to Alezi and is like, "And you were the star of tonight. You and Braun were the best reactions we got and the best fights I've seen in a long time. I definitely want to see you in my ring. We can make you a star."
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be back. I had a lot of fun.
Great. I'm so glad. Well, let's see. How long do you think you'll need to recover from this match? And I'm going to say, for full recovery, you're going to need 2 days of rest.
On my feet.
I didn't hear that.
Oh, she just says a day or two and I'll be back on my feet.
She nods and goes, very well. Next week, we're going to have a set of amateur league fights, and I want you in there. It's going to be on Wednesday. That's 5 days from now.
Alright, Wednesday. I don't have any prior arrangements. I think I can make that happen.
Great. So, Braun, since he won this match, I'm going to consider him higher in the league already, but I expect you can catch up to him very quickly.
Oh, definitely want to do that.
Yeah, I could tell you're itching for a rematch. Well, I don't have anything left. I do hope to see you next Wednesday. Take care. Ta-ta.
You got it. See ya.
Rhodes, you get paid 2 gold for your participation.
Yay.
And you're free to do whatever you like.
Rhodes is gonna... Actually, first off, I think he's only gonna take half of that. He's gonna take 1 gold.
And what's he doing with the rest of it?
He's just not taking it. This is mostly volunteer for him.
Okay, well, Melda seems a little confused by that, but shrugs and goes, whatever you say, lad.
And he's gonna wander on over to where the group seems to be still lingering about.
Una's like checking Alezi. If we take a short rest, I can help with this. This is fine.
Yeah. All I really want right now is a drink. Oh, hey, Rhodes. Glad you could join us.
Hi. Still here? Thought you might be, shambling back to wherever you're laying your bed these days.
Yeah, we're just about to. You coming along?
Oh, am I invited?
Oh, sure you are.
Sure. I don't have anywhere to be tonight. It's my day off from temple duty, so I could use a little company.
Alright. Let's get going then. I need a cold one.
Flynn got his money from the last fight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are we headed?
It's called the Rainy Day Inn.
Don't know it.
You'll like it. It's nice and cozy.
Alright, if you insist. Lead the way.
Alright, so you guys head back to the Rainy Day Tavern. It's worth noting that you weren't here for this, Rhodes, but the tavern is definitely an ironic sort of name. Because of Skyside above them, there would not be rain at this area ever. There's a continent in the way of it, so it's going to catch all the rain, and this place stays pretty perpetually dry. So, head into the Rainy Day Tavern. At this point, it would be pushing like 10 o'clock at night, and it's not a particularly busy night. So, by this point, most of the folks in the tavern have cleared out. Ben is still behind the bar, mage handing drinks over to whoever orders them. He looks up and waves as the group enters. Hey, you guys look like shit. How'd it go?
Alezi walks over and just kind of lays her head on the bar as she groans. It's like, I lost the very last fight.
No. Well, hey, you got better than all but one guy, right?
Yeah.
That's something to be
back
proud
on
of.
Wednesday.
Nice. I knew you'd do well in there. He looks to Flynn and goes, didn't expect you to go fighting. How'd yours go?
I lost my first fight, but I made a decent amount of money.
You went in there gambling? Nice. Wish I could have seen it.
Yeah. He's paying for drinks.
All right. He starts filling up cold beer for everyone. He looks to Rhodes and goes, don't think I've seen you around here before. What you drinking?
Water, if you have it.
Yeah, we got water, sure. And it's still in an ale tankard, but he uses the create water cantrip to fill it up and pass it to you.
Thanks.
Certainly.
Alezi will introduce Rhodes. Says, yeah, Ben. This is an old friend of mine back from Northwall. His name's Rhodes. Rhodes, this is Ben. He's been pretty good to me.
Hey, nice to meet you. And he puts out a hand to shake. Benjamin Fairweather, proprietor of the Rainy Day Tavern. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Benjamin.
Do
Rhodes, I
you
do. Paladin of the Lover.
do you need a description? I don't think you do.
I don't. I listened to the last session, so
Gotcha.
I'm very familiar with Ben.
Cool. Okay. Well, he hands out drinks. Is like, all right. I'll leave you to it. You need anything? Just let me know. Goes back to polishing some tankards and serving more drinks to the few people who are still here drinking.
I still have my 2 spell slots left, right?
Your level 2s, yes.
Yeah, because it seems like our day is done. Flynn, what's your HP at to? You're at like 5 or something, right?
You gave him 2.
No, I only gave him 1.
Oh.
I think Rhodes gave him 2 for lay on hands, right?
Oh.
Yes.
But it's been a few hours, so would that be considered a short rest for him?
Flynn could have had a short rest, yeah.
Okay, I'll roll my hit dice then.
I know our day's ending, so it doesn't really matter. But
Well, I mean, when Talk Comes in with a horde of goblins to fight you, I mean, what?
Rhodes is gonna take care of it. We'll be fine.
Rhodes is your healer. He will not be taking care of that.
What kind of paladin are you?
I'm not your tank. That's what kind of paladin I am.
All right, who's that 7 HP for?
That's my hit dice.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You would roll it +4 because you roll each, like
Okay.
every time you roll a hit dice, you add your con.
So 9 then.
All right, yeah, you come back with 9 HP.
So he's got 11 then?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys have the tavern to yourself, more or less. There's only a few other patrons, and they're not paying you any attention.
So Rhodes, what's your story? What's going on there?
Story. Nothing much to say, really. I grew up in Northwall. I did my paladin training. I followed my mother out here when a few years after she moved to Leyline, and I completed my training under the banner of the Lover. Sorry. I spend a lot of my time at the Temple of the Mother, and their names are very, unfortunately, similar.
Oh, is there not a Temple of the Lover in Leyline City?
Oh, there is. I'm an associate there too. But my mother is part of the clergy of the Mother, and so I split my time between the 2 temples. The Mother and the Lover move in similar circles anyway, so it's not exactly uncommon to see one at the other.
So what's your mom's name?
Oh shit! I didn't.
We never decided that.
Oh, piss pot.
What's my mother's name? Totally not referring to another podcast.
Rodette.
Do we know anybody named Allegra?
I'm going to hard veto on Allegra.
Yeah, that's not a great name.
I mean, it's a
Rodette.
fine name if it weren't for the context.
I was literally this first name that popped into my mind.
It reminds me of French opera where everybody died, so that's why I wasn't not appreciating that one.
Cymbeline?
Cymbeline?
Cymbeline, like the Shakespeare play, but it's a guy's
Sure.
name. No,
Let's not spend more than 5 minutes on someone's name now.
I know. I'm just trying to think. Talia?
Talia works, sure.
Talia, yeah.
Alright, so there wasn't an awkward pause as Rhodes tried to remember his mother's name, and immediately came out with Talia. Okay, that's established.
We're just gonna cut that.
No, we're not. Your shame is going to be on display for the internet to see.
Oh no.
Technically, it's your shame because you're the DM, and
No, I am not in control of the character's family. Like, you know, if they're on the screen, then they're the NPCs that I'll control. But your family is your business, so no, like I am not taking the blame for that one.
Yeah,
No,
I had
that's
to pick my
squarely
grandmother's
on
name
me.
too.
I obsessively name any characters, and I can't believe I forgot that one.
How many siblings did we name? I think there's at least 2.
Uh,
Anyway, so yeah, Talia.
Oh, Talia's a lovely name.
Thank you. She's a remarkable woman.
Do you have any other family besides Talia?
Rhodes starts laughing. Oh, you have no idea. Oh, what's the last count? 20 sibling? 2... No, oh, sorry, God, no. A father and 3 stepfathers?
Una's eyes get a little bit wider. She's 3.
Would Alezi have met any of these people back in Northwall?
It's conceivable.
Is it? I at the same time. Do you have 3 stepdads and a dad? Just
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My
Can I-
family isn't quite that large, but I know what it's like to have kind of a big family.
Can I do a religion check to see how much I know about the mother and the way the mother works?
Sure.
It's a religion check, right?
Yes. And others are welcome to do this as well. Alright, that's a 13 for Oona, a 6 for Flynn, and 18 for Alezi. And Rhodes auto succeeds. So the parts that everyone knows is that the mother is the one of the few deities who have a set gender simply because of the biological requirements of her post. She is the goddess of childbirth, child rearing, community, healing, and her clergy consists entirely of women, and actually having children is a significant requirement in their clergy.
Women or people with uteruses?
People with uteruses.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm your standard cis white scum, so I'm not gonna be straight up with the lingo, but yes, physically female, is that acceptable?
Yeah, having uteruses. I didn't want to tie gender to the specification.
You're correct. It's the right term is sex, right? Like,
yeah.
As I understand it, sex is the physical configuration and gender is the mental configuration.
Yes, you are correct.
Okay, cool. I'm learning things. So yes, biosex female priesthood, and for what it's worth, any transsexual trans men who want to be part of the mother would probably get some backlash from that. But I think at this point we're going beyond what Flynn would know about. So Flynn, at this point, I need you to deafen. All right, he's out. Oona and Alezi would also know that having children and grandchildren is part of how one becomes higher in rank within the clergy. The grandmother, as she is called, the high priestess of the mother, is required to have at least 50 descendants. So children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on need to total at least 50 before you can even start talking about becoming the grandmother. And so it is not uncommon for priestesses of the mother to have children with multiple men, especially if they are trying to have large families. Polygamy is perfectly acceptable to the mother as long as all of the men are involved, or all of the biosex male involved are involved in child rearing as well. The mother is focused on motherhood, but she does expect fathers to be present. And she's the deity of community, so she has kind of a it takes a village to raise a child mentality. She expects every person in a given community to contribute to child rearing in some way. And at this point, we have gone beyond what Oona would know.
Okay.
So please deafen. Thank you. Okay, so Alezi, you would know this actually in part because of your association with Rhodes. By hanging out with Rhodes, you would have actually known a fair bit about the mother. So none of the deities are necessarily good or evil. They have their positive aspects and their negative aspects. And for the mother, the negative aspect is definitely conformity. She does not approve of homosexual coupling unless there's an arrangement where pregnancy happens somehow anyway. She is known to be hostile to the idea of transsexuality as well. So her dark side is that she's bigoted.
Okay.
And you would be aware of this as well, Rhodes.
Mm-hmm.
So the gods are not perfect people, and most of the gods don't care what you call yourself or what bits you put in other bits, but the mother does. And I think we're done. So I'll bring the others back in. Welcome back. The info dump is done, and we can resume where we were.
Yay!
Yay.
Yay.
Where we were having a chat with Rhodes.
Yes, and talking about the mother's temple, I believe.
I had just brought up my family of 26 siblings and a father and 3 stepfathers.
Flynn made an offhand comment about his family being large too,
Right.
but no one noticed it.
You can't. That's God modding. You can't speak for us.
Because right after that, I asked for a religion check. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, really, Flynn? You don't really talk about your family much. How many siblings do you have?
Well, just a handful, but I have a lot of cousins.
I know that feel.
How many cousins?
More than I could count at the top of my head right now.
That's a lot of cousins. So we know a lot about you, Rhodes. You're from Northwall. How do you and Alezi know each other?
We sort of grew up sparring as such.
Yeah, I kind of bullied him into practicing with me on several occasions.
I wouldn't call it bullying, per se.
Oh, that's what the other kids called it, so she just takes a swig of her drink.
Oh. Well, we were young and both fighters and looking to test our mettle. Alezi needed somebody to face off against, and I can take a few blows.
Yeah, he did pretty well. Surprisingly. Usually the pretty ones don't.
Thanks, Alezi. That's very kind of you. No. Alezi was still as much of a spitfire back in those days, too. I saw that today in the ring. Still haven't lost much of your fighting spirit, have you?
Well, I've at least toned down a little outside the ring.
No, you're right. You're right. Speaking of outside the ring, when did you leave Northwall?
Oh, just, about a year ago, maybe, give or take.
What brought you out here to the ley line?
So she gets... you can see a faint blush of embarrassment on her face as the subject comes up, and she kind of buries her snout in her mug of beer. It's just like, well, I'm just out here looking for work.
Oh, I understand. I won't push. I'm glad to see you again, though. I truly am.
Yeah, it was really nice to see a familiar face out here.
Exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So tell me about your friends.
Oh, well,
They can speak for themselves, I assume.
I haven't really hung out with them much. Actually, I only knew them because they were staying around here with me. But we've grown closer over the past few days. Oona here, she sings for her supper up at the stage.
Oona, you're not from around here, are you?
I mean, define around here.
I wouldn't say you look like a native of this city, at least.
No, sadly, I'm not. I'm actually from Choagon. Have you heard of it?
Have I?
You've at least heard of it. Give me a history check to know so we can see how much you know.
Yeah, can do. Let me just pull that up. No.
All right. So all you really know is that it's a land that was discovered quotation marks, about 20 or so years ago, north of the mainland, past the wilds where the Fae rule. And you don't know much about that other than you've heard that it's an exotic and very different culture. You've also heard that there's a pretty big missionary presence going on right now from the Temples of the Nine, because the Jogans, as the word for someone from Jowagon is a Jogan. And the Jogans, you've heard, practice pagan rituals, but you don't know much beyond that.
Alright. What was the name of the country again?
Jowagon.
Jowagon. And that's what Oona said?
Yeah.
Cool. Jowagon. Oh, wow. What brought you all the way down here, then?
Well, I've never really actually left Jowagon, and when I finished my apprenticeship, I thought, let's go find out what else is out there and what kind of stories I can find.
That's interesting. It seems to usually be the other way around, from here to Jowagon.
Well, you might find Jowagon exotic. I found Elamir quite exotic myself.
That's the first time I've ever heard anyone say that.
I'd try.
And Flynn, was it?
Yes.
What brings you to our shady part of Leyline?
I would rather not talk about that.
Oh, no problem. No problem. I won't push.
Actually, Flynn, you've never said where you're from anyway.
Around Trelindor.
I can't remember where Trelindor is.
Tralindor or Trelindor, both are actually perfectly acceptable.
Okay.
I
It's
say
Elven country.
I say Tralindor. People from Tralindor might say Trelindor. That's fine. Accents. It is to the west of Eldamir, and it is a heavily forest region ruled by the elves.
North or south? I forgot.
West.
West. Okay.
Directly west. No north or south involved.
Oh, okay. I know where that is. So then this is pretty close for you.
Yeah, not too far, I suppose.
Well, you all said you've only known each other a few days? That was it?
But we knew each other casually from around the tavern. It's been
We recently took a job together.
What kind of job?
Oh, okay. So, strap yourself down. You're in for a real treat. Oona, why don't you take the reins? You're the bard.
Okay, real quick. Red, did you actually listen to all the episodes so far?
No, but I read Scott's summary.
Scott summary? Okay.
Scott's summary, while crude, was sufficient to actually know what was going on.
Yes, because I kind of want to roll a performance check on this because I want to make it out as kind of ridiculous as possible.
Go for it.
Love that.
A 9.
Not so great. So
I'm really bad at this.
yeah, I mean you're good at performance, but you haven't rolled above a 5 on it yet. All right, so
she keeps thinking about the mimic.
Yeah, again, because of the trauma that you still haven't quite shaken off, you're doing great up until you get to the part where you get eaten. And then you kind of have to trail off, and like all of your momentum for the story is suddenly gone.
Flynn the rogue can't do investigation. Oona the bard can't do performance.
Oh, wow.
I'm still a better bard than Flynn. That's all that matters.
That's unfortunate, but hey, the D20 is fickle. It's actually a problem I have with the system, but I've already talked about my opinions enough.
Could I say the rest of the story and have my own performance check?
Sure. I'll give a performance check for this.
Because I'm still a better bard than you.
Oh God, here we go.
Oh God.
All right. Well,
14.
yeah, you pick it up a little better at this point, and the thing is, because you had to break in as Oona's momentum was lost, even though the retelling is pretty good, because you didn't have any of the build-up that comes with a good story, it still falls a little flat. but you rescue it from being a total disaster of a telling.
And that's how I got these 2 black eyes.
No, I healed those black eyes. You don't have
Nope,
black eyes
nope,
anymore.
the black eyes are still there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going to, just because it's funny that way.
Does that mean he still has, like, the crack in the armor and everything?
The crack in the armor needs to be mended, but mending is a pretty easy spell for someone to have.
And you said you guys were friends?
Yes.
Tenuous allies, I suppose, would be the better word for this moment. We're becoming friends, I would hope, but...
We are?
Alright. Not the sort of friendship, interactions I'm used to. But
Well, you know, since when have I had normal friends?
that's very fair. You just accused yourself of bullying me as a child, so what can I say?
Alezi just grins.
It's good to see you again.
Yeah. We'll definitely have to do this again. Do you have to be anywhere anytime soon?
No. Today's my day off guard duty, so
You'd probably have the weekend off.
this is
Today's
my
Friday.
weekend off guard duty, so I'm free for a few days.
Like, to be clear, you'd probably be expected to head to the Temple of the Lover at some point during or not the Temple of the Lover, the Mother, to do some duties to help out your mother, lowercase m. But you have most of the weekend to yourself.
Cool.
Actually, what were our plans for the weekend, Alezi?
She just gives a shrug.
Are you sure you're up for anything this weekend other than leap and maybe soup?
I'm fine. I just need a few days to rest. And she just kind of puts her head on the table.
I don't know what I was about to say. You sure you don't need any more patching up? I could give you a quick boost. I think I've got a little left in me.
If you're up for it.
Docs, do I have anything left in me?
I'll say you have one last first level spell. I
Cool,
think that
that's all I-
contradicts something that I said before, but whatever.
Well, you were talking about my lay on hands resource?
Yeah, your lay on hands I think is done for.
Yeah, I haven't used any of my spell slots.
I'm going to say that you use most of your spell slots in other matches. They were pretty much tapping you out, but you have one spell slot left.
Yeah, that's basically what he said earlier, too.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think earlier I said you had no spell slots, but whatever, you've got one.
Cool. That means 1d8 plus 3 healing. Dang it. Hey!
8 healing.
Woo!
So, Rhodes puts both hands onto one part of Alezi's bare arms and channels.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Remember
no.
that. Yeah, the
Yes.
lover.
You're right. So, Rhodes leans over and plants a kiss on her temple.
That works.
Alezi feels would she be used to this?
With your religion check from before, I will say that you are aware that the lover often, her spells are often channeled in a very intimate way. So it is not uncommon for priests of the lover to embrace or kiss anyone they're casting a spell on.
Okay. I was just
So-
gonna ask if she'd be used to this, or
I don't
if
think
his-
you'd
if
be
his
used to it.
Training didn't start.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be used to it, but you would understand what's happening.
Also,
All right.
he was healing people all day, which probably meant giving them big, nice hugs.
Yeah, you would have seen him actually giving hugs and the like to people. It's very comforting after losing a fight to get the literally healing hug.
All right, so she just kind of relaxes after being kissed on the temple. She's like, that hits the spot. Okay,
You cut off
Drinks.
KQ.
Oh, she's gonna go get the table more drinks.
Cool.
Okay, we either need to wrap up or take a break, because I need a drink.
All right. Well, this is a great place to wrap up. So,
Yeah, I have to go get dinner. So
this is perfect. So let's do this. So as Alezi goes to get the next round of drinks, another voice, a familiar voice to everyone but Rhodes, pipes up and goes, If you don't mind, I'll buy this round and get one for me as well. And Officer Williams, the guard who spoke to the group before, comes to sit down. And that's where we will end today's session.
Yay! My buddy's back.
Your buddy's back and you're gonna be in trouble.
Well,
Hey, I got nothing on me.
Red,
Well,
welcome to the
you
game.
might not.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yeah,
That was
It's
good.
it's a bit of a low-key entry, but sometimes that's what happens in life.
Yeah, no, it was fun. I liked knowing that Rhodes was the healer.
Yeah, I forgot you guys might not have known that was gonna happen. Because that was my suggestion. Docs
Yeah.
was in way later, and then I said to him that it would completely be in character for me to be a volunteer healer for these fights.
Yeah, definitely. If it weren't for that, I would have not been able to work Rhodes in today. And I figured that after I actually looked at how much fighting would be happening. At first, I was hoping that the fighting tournament would only be half of the session, but then I looked at how much fighting there was, and it came down to, unless Alezi got knocked out early, which was not going to happen, this was going to be the whole session. So I definitely needed a way to work Rhodes in, and having him be a medic was just right.
Oh, just a note. Flynn would also not recognize Officer Williams.
Oh, that's right. Flynn wouldn't. That's true. So, hopefully people actually listen to the post-game chatter, because I think it's very interesting. And we'll have that correction put in. We'll also lead off the next session with it. Please remind me.
Yeah. I know if I hadn't had to heal both Flynn and Alezi before they went into the fight, I was gonna do a round of fighting too. So I was like, oh, actually that would be really fun.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
try it, because I was like, oh wait, I could fight other magic pieces. That would be so cool. And I could practice actually being in a fight, because I've only been in, 2 fights so far? 1? 2?
You've been in...
3.
Technically, it would be 3, because the Mimic is kind of a separate one. But you were barely in that fight. Either
Yeah.
that or so in that fight that you were useless, depending on how you look at it.
Pretty much. Yeah. So I was like, oh, dang, alright, that's fine. But yay, that was fun.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Anything we want to talk about that session? I was very pleased with how that went.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of fun. I was not expecting to do as well as I did in the arena, so I was really hyped.
A 3rd level barbarian is really well suited to brawls. Now, there are some people in there that if they had weapons, they would have had a better chance of beating you. But barbarians actually function very well without weapons. So you had an advantage over all the fighters and the rangers that were going on. It's that's why the guy that beat Flynn was not an opponent for you, because rangers really kind of need weapons to function well.
Yeah. I was just rolling really well on those
You did.
first 2 rounds.
Yeah, you rolled above average quite a bit there, but I'm fine with that.
Yeah, it made for a really nice session. I think
Yeah.
that was Alezi really hasn't had a spotlight in the first 2
Indeed.
sessions. I think this 3rd session was hers, and it was
And that's by
really
design.
yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, that is definitely by design.
Yeah.
Did either Alezi or Flynn level up at all?
No. So I'm not doing it, peeking behind the curtain a bit, I'm not doing experience points. They're fiddly, and they're not fun. So I'm just going to tell you, hey, everybody levels up, and that's not what happens here.
Okay.
Level 3 was very quick. Level 4 will not be.
Okay. I wasn't imagining that I would have, but I thought Alezi might have.
I
had a
don't
chance at it.
I don't want the party to be at uneven levels. So, it would take a really big deal for me to say, okay, this character gains a level and no one else does. It makes the bookkeeping a lot easier. If you have somebody, especially at low levels, who's above everyone else's level, then that character becomes harder to balance around. and also becomes kind of a hog for the spotlight in a way that I don't like. Like, I liked that Flynn had the spotlight last session. That was great. I liked that Alezi had the spotlight this session. That was also great. I'm working on something that might be interesting for Oona, and we'll figure out what to do with Rhodes. There's a lot of ways to do it, but I mean,
And Rhodes is here too.
yeah. I mean, Rhodes is still getting introduced, and it wasn't like an explosive introduction, so that's
I know.
gonna,
No complaints.
yeah. But every individual character should have something that has them stand out for brief moments. But if a character is over-leveled, I'm losing my voice. If my character is over-leveled, they may stand out in a way that I can't control, and that's no good.
I agree with that.
Any other opinions you want me to talk about? I've got a lot of them.
We'll have a list ready for next game for after.
I mean,
Q&A session right at the top. Cake or pie?
Diabetes. But yeah, like we could, like, if we have some week where most people aren't able to come in, I would totally be fine with having just a jam session of talking about shit. Like me and KQ did a video not a video, a podcast when back when I was trying to do some other project that has since fallen through. That was just her and I talking about JRPGs for, what was it, 2-3 hours?
I think it was like 2.5.
Yeah. And I very much enjoyed that, and I thought it was good content. So I would love to do stuff like that. But
You have to tease me with a good time. I was gonna say talk my ear off, which doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't, but I know what you meant. Kind of like when I keep mixing up Oona and Alezi. But I mean, Oona is such an orcish name, but it is actually a word in, what is it, Chinese?
No, it's Gaelic actually.
Gaelic.
Yeah, it
Huh.
means ram. Remember? Oh no, sheep. I'm sorry.
I mean, I thought it would be one of the countries that Joe Wagon actually represents in my head, but I mean, it still sounds.
Talked about that on a different channel.
I see. All right.
Remember?
Well, still, Oona is still a fine joking name. It sounds right, but it also sounds orcish, and in my head, I definitely, like, Alezi's a half-orc in a setting where that's unusual, whereas being human is pretty common in this setting, so the orc side stands out to me, so I associate orc name, orcish character, and it's completely me being wrong, but it's something that I gotta get over. Anyway, anything else to say before we shill?
Is there like we can talk about this a little bit later, but I was actually wondering because Una's a very chatty person, and she probably would have been chatting with all the people she was healing.
Oh, we can talk about that a little bit off camera, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Apologies for not letting you play that out, but we had a more important thing going on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
There was a point where I was gonna try and talk to Oona ringside, but things just had to keep in motion, so.
Yeah, I apologize for that, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices for storytelling, I think.
Of course.
I'm sure you guys will have plenty of time to chat elsewhere. But I think we need to wrap up, because my recording is approaching 3 hours. It'll be, of course, cut down as we cut out all of the spots where I said something stupid.
So we don't want to do our extra then?
No, let's do that now. So, I'm Proven Paradox. Hi. I don't really have anything else to shill at the moment, although I do have some projects I want to start thinking about. But, yeah, peering behind the camera a bit, I didn't want to talk about it, but I will admit it. I had some major surgery between this session and the last session, and I'm still recovering from it, but I'm recovering well. And once I'm done, I'm going to start actually trying to do things outside of this. So I'll have stuff to shill eventually. And hopefully next time I'll actually know what podcast services we're putting all of this up on, because we still haven't done that yet. That's tomorrow. Who wants to go next?
I will. So this has been Renee. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware. I did start a Patreon that I wanted to let everybody know about.
Nice.
it's patreon.com/Rebecca Renee Beets. And Beets is spelled Beets, and Rebecca spelled biblical, like, I don't know, 2 C's, 1 B.
I'll have links to this in the description, probably.
Most likely, but I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. Definitely go check that out because I'm really excited to even have that. But thank you guys for listening. Whoever wants to go next.
I'll go next because I have to go.
Okay.
I'm Scott. I'm also known as Squirrel Bro, and I have my webcomic Between the Lines at betweenthelines.comic.com, and I have my Patreon at patreon.com/squirrelbro.
All right, excellent. You need to take off?
Yeah.
All right, see you later, man.
Bye.
I can go next.
Go for it.
I've been Red. I still am Red. I don't do anything cool, really. Maybe I will in the future, but you can find me at adhdalistair.tumblr.com and Red of the Wolves on Twitter. And eventually I might do something cool. I'm a writer by trade.
Nice.
I'm mostly just a good person.
And Scott's not here.
Person.
Scott's not here to say otherwise, so you get away with it.
Nice.
All right, and KQ, I think you're last,
Yeah, hi.
but certainly not least.
I would hope not. This has been KQ. It's a pleasure to have been here for this session. I have a YouTube channel under my real name. It's Amanda DeFore. You can find out how to spell that in the description.
Indeed.
And I also have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/KQD.
Excellent. I think that's everything then. Thank you very much for listening, listeners. Thank you very much for playing, players. And I hope everybody had fun and that we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Woof.
Bye.